In this video, Jim Coventry and I are going to talk about some key rankings for Week 16, the second round of the fantasy playoffs. I'm Jeff Erickson. He's Jim Coventry. Check us out at RotoWire.com/try. Jim, let's hit up the QBs. Mathew Stafford. I'm pretty bullish on him this week against the Jets. I think you can attack the Jets secondary. Mac Jones even had himself a day last week against them. You're a little tepid. You got him down at 17. Tell me why.
Your ranking is perfect, Jeff, but I can't trust the Rams. I never know which team will show up, and if it's fantasy playoffs, and I'm going to put Mathew Stafford as a strong quarterback one, your ranking's right, but I cannot trust him. And we've seen how many mammoth games have there been? We had a 30-point game against New England in Week 11. That was a tough pass defense, right? Against Minnesota, tough pass defense. Everybody else, he's always around that 17 to 20 mark. Those aren't really quarterback one numbers because the Rams don't seem to show up in the games they should. And that's the only qualm I have. It's like I said, your ranking's perfect. I just can't trust him if he's my quarterback one. I have any other option that I know has like a reliable floor with potential ceiling.
Yeah, well, I view it as my ranking was right. The Rams just got the game script wrong last week against the Niners there. I mean, Cooper Kupp, just a fantasy assassin there for what that happened there. And I was watching that, and yeah, sure, it was raining. I didn't feel like it was like these horrible monsoon-like conditions. It certainly wasn't cold enough. This wasn't like Cleveland in December or anything like that. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe the weather will be an issue in New York. I get it. You want to have that security. It's such a weird week for quarterbacks too. We should talk about just how many quarterbacks are insecure this week. We don't know if Geno's going to be good to go. We don't know if Mahomes is going to be good to go. We know we're getting some changes. Kirk Cousins is out. Michael Penix is in. What do you think about Penix against the Giants, by the way?
So what I'm going to say is this. I think the reason he's in is he can do play action because he can move. He can roll out because he can move, do things Kirk Cousins couldn't do. And I think very simply, it jumpstarts the running game. The little play action, some quick shots. I don't think they're going to put much on Penix's plate as a passer this week at all. They're going to ease him in. They should beat the Giants. They should. The Giants are missing all their defensive three corners out last week. Dexter Lawrence done. I think they run. They throw 15 to 18 times. They call it a day. So I don't know what he'll be, but I know defenses can't relentlessly blitz like they do with Kirk Cousins, and that's what the game was. The Raiders had no Max Crosby, and they still just sent everybody saying, well, you can't move.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, they were trying to hide Kirk Cousins in that game, and it was just a painful watch. Painful to watch.
Yes.
Rico Dowdle, 3 straight 100-yard games, 145, I think, against Carolina last week. Yes, Carolina is the run sieve. We know this. They get Tampa Bay this week. It's in Dallas. That may or may not be a good thing. Probably is not necessarily a good thing the way the Cowboys have played at home this year. Against Tampa Bay, a team that obviously has a lot to play for, but fantasy running backs have scored pretty well against them at the same time. You know, not Gus Edwards notwithstanding, but he's the Gus bus. We understand. We're not like saying, you're not even saying don't start him, but you're a little bit more tepid than I am with Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, I figured out a very easy script with Dallas. When they're winning or in a really, really close game, which they kind of work the Bengals, they can lean on their running attack, and Dowdle can get you 20 carries a game. If they're trailing at all, he's in trouble. He's going to get you 8 to 10 carries, maybe 12. That's going to be about it. And they've had some very easy run opponents. Now, Tampa's numbers say one thing. You know Todd Bowles is going to blitz, especially Zach Martin's out. That line is not good. The blitz does two things. You can send a blitz that actually serves to stop the run as well as get to the quarterback. True. And I think that's what Todd Bowles is doing here because realistically, they got to worry about CeeDee Lamb, but that's underneath stuff. They don't have to worry about a downfield passing game for Cooper Rush. So I think, the Bucs play with the lead. That minimizes Dowdle. And in terms of them saying, well, he'll catch a ton of passes. Not really. He's got to be in pass protection because of the blitzes that are coming. So I think game's bad for him.
It's just a mess right now. Absolutely. I think you're probably right. One thing I think the Cowboys have discovered that they're better with one back, and it is Rico Dowdle, and they've been doing a lot more with that. So I'll give them credit on that. I get you. That I might be a little high on Dowdle. I have him at 10. You have him at 19. We're going to talk 2 wide receivers, but first, if you're enjoying this video, please smash that like button, hit subscribe, check us out on RotoWire, RotoWire.com/try. You can see it right down there, RotoWire.com/try. Check it out there. It's a free trial. No credit card is required. That's all of our free trials are like this. You just put in a valid email address and off you go. You can check out my rankings. You can check out Jim's articles, all of our tools to help you win your league, your playoff games. Jim, there are 5 1,000-yard receivers so far this year. 5. It's a little less than it's been in the past. Jerry Judy is one of them. Nobody had that. I guarantee you, nobody had that at the start of this season. I know I need to downgrade him because it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting and not, Jameis Winston. Jameis did unlock Judy to a certain extent. I think the question is, how far do you move him down? Like I initially had him at like 10. That's going to go way down. I know that. Somewhere in the 20s is where I think I'm going to land. You've got him all the way down at 41 though.
Man, Jeff, this is terrible. Dorian Thompson-Robinson throwing about 150 NFL passes. His average yards per pass is about 3.5. Yep. 3.5. And he's completed less than half of those passes. So you're throwing the ball 3 yards away, and you can only complete half of them.
Yep.
It's not an NFL quarterback. How many passes will he, in the best case world, is he completing 14 passes in a game? Best case world. And if he completes those, are any of those passes complete over 10 yards? And will any defense facing them, no matter how bad they are they just going to say, you can't throw?
I feel seen here when you say no matter how bad they are as a Bengals.
Right, and I purposely didn't say Bengals. So,
it's okay.
Yeah, just walk everybody up and say, guess what? Beat us. And I think that's how any team goes in against this quarter. He's not an NFL quarterback. And that's my worry. And I'm invested in Judy heavily. Kings Classic Leagues, I have both of them. That's a hit.
Yeah. Wait, there's more though, because Jerry Judy is an outside receiver. He is not a slot receiver. So the patterns that DTR is going to throw are more often going to be to slot receivers and tight ends and things of that nature. It's not going to be the deep crosses. So even worse. Yeah. You got me convinced that I'm going to run for the hills on this one here. Unfortunately, sad, taking something beautiful and ruining it there.
Yes, man.
Speaking of which, Jaxon Smith and Njigba, he's now the man in Seattle. He is
clearly
unequivocally the number one target. Metcalf had 3 targets last week. Now I think that there might be a case where they feed Metcalf a little bit more, but there's no doubt JSN is going to be the guy going forward. The problem is they're facing the Vikings this week, and they're facing the Vikings with the banged up Geno Smith. We don't know at the time of this recording whether Geno's going to play. I think there were initial reports were positive enough that I didn't downgrade JSN, but maybe I should.
If Geno is even 10% off his full limitation, that's a problem. Because this, first of all, the offensive line does not block well at all.
No, it's
that
horrible.
Line, and look, if one team is going to challenge your lanes in the offensive line and passing off responsibilities, it's the Vikings. And Geno, look, he'll stare it down, but he's not very good when he's under pressure. He's a bad quarterback. Not his fault. Most quarterbacks are bad under pressure. He's really bad. And I just think that the Vikings are going to put so much pressure. And honestly, we'll see what, like you said, we don't know who's going to start. I bet you Sam Howell's in. But even so, a limited Geno, I'm out. They're not going to pass for much at all in this game. They're going to pass for 140, 160 total.
Yeah, and if you think Geno is bad against pressure, take a look at that tape of Sam Howell in the second half after he came in. If you like sacks, 1 every 4 dropbacks, here you go. Here's Sam Howell. And this is not just a Seattle thing, by the way. This is also when he was with the Commanders as well, or the football team, whatever iteration of team he was on. He's very sackable. And that's an issue there. He just pocket presence, mobile. He's mobile, but he's just doesn't make right decisions under the rush. So that would be really bad. So I get it there.
Santa brings a sack of toys, and Sam Howell brings a sack of destruction.
Yeah, he has moments of competence, but it's interspersed with a lot of disaster in there too. So there you go. So that's going to wrap it up for this recording. Thanks for tuning in, checking us out. As always, check out all the RotoWire recordings over on YouTube or wherever you get your videos. Just smash that record button. Smash that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You'll know whenever we post one of these bad boys. So thanks for checking us out. Merry Christmas, everyone. Good luck in the fantasy semifinals.